Okay, so we've had the fishing kayak now for 6 months. We're going to go through it, get it all cleaned up. So first thing, the cover. I got this cover, I want to say it was $19 or $29, and it's been worth every penny. Obviously it's in the barn. It's been in the barn for about a month. Keeps the dust and dirt and everything off of it and out of it. During season, I have a pond in the front yard, so I like to leave my kayak down by the pond. I can put the cover over it. Luckily in my own yard I can leave my equipment, everything in there, but it's nice to go down there in the morning, you pop this off, there's no dew, all your equipment's dry. So it is a very nice cover. It does have straps on it. The other thing that I've done, these are luggage racks. I got those off Amazon, but oh, here's Curly and Mo, by the way. That's not their names. That's Ted and that's Doug. But those are luggage racks. Now they are making stands for kayaks. It does make it really nice if you're working on your kayak, or like up at the lake, I can put it in the grass, doesn't kill the grass. Obviously here in the barn, if I'm working on it, it's at about waist level. So alright, well, I'm gonna get the kayak emptied out. We'll see you here in a second. Okay, so got the kayak cleaned out. I flipped it over. I did a video on the skags back here, what I would do and what I did do before I even put this kayak in the water. There's a video you can reference. I took them all apart, used some silicone, the original parts, put it back together, and I've had no issues. I know that there's people out there that have mixed reviews on those, but personally, for what I do, I love them. And I also put the keel protector on when I had it flipped over. So those two jobs are done. Now it's time to get this thing cleaned up, and then I'm going to show you guys what I have settled on or decided I need in my kayak to fish. So I don't know if you guys have used the 303 Aerospace protectant and cleaner, but we're gonna, this one's about done. I was gonna try to get the last drop out of it. There we go. You can find it on Amazon, of course, like everything else. I do have a current review out. I did it about a month after I purchased the kayak, and you can catch some of the stuff on there that I've taken off of it and changed. I ordered all kinds of stuff for this thing before I even got it, and a lot of it went right back to Amazon. It was just not what I thought it was going to be, or it was in my way, so I tried to simplify things. But we're going to put a heavy coat on it because she's going to sit for about 3 months, unfortunately. We're having a pretty nasty winter in Indiana so far. We had a cold front come through in November, and it has been the coldest it's been in 130 years in Indiana. So tonight it's getting down to 0. It's snowing currently. My buddy's looking out the window, looking for deer, coyotes, anything he can see. See anything out there, Bubs? Nothing? Alright. But we are going to hit a deer blind here in a little bit, so my goal is to get the kayak cleaned up, shined up, and I'll probably get the other half of this. You guys won't notice it because I'll blend it right together, but if you guys are noticing the custom stickers on here, got those from a guy off of Amazon, and the first set he sent me didn't do real good in the water, so I sent him an email. He's like, oh, I didn't know that it was going to be, submerged underwater. You should have told me. So he sent me new decals, used a different adhesive on them, and I have had no problems. Fish on, that's kind of my catchphrase on my fishing videos on YouTube. So I think that's enough. I'll talk to you guys about these. Those are my seat risers. They are a game changer. Get you up off the water. They were made on a 3D printer. Okay, stay tuned. I'm gonna get her wiped down. Next time you see her, she'll look like $1 million. Okay, got the kayak cleaned up. I didn't realize how dirty it was, but I want to go through a few things on the kayak itself. Well, it's, I guess we'll call it naked, stripped down, whatever you want to call it. One thing on the Lifetime Manta, obviously this is specific to the Manta. It comes with 2 inflatables. You have to inflate them probably about half the way, and you slide them down both sides, and then obviously you're going to leave the mouthpiece right here, fill them up the best you can the rest of the way, and you're going to shove them down the sides. I've heard different things. I think they help with stability. I took them out one day at the lake when I was up there on vacation, and it seemed to rock more without it. Some people say they're in there for flotation. But you can see how they sit down in there. There's one on that side, and there's one on that side. I mean, what's the difference between that and you making it in a circle and sitting on it? It's going to help you float, and it's going to keep you stable. So, for whatever reason, they're in there. So, I do have a video on how I mounted my fish finder. My transducer is underneath that yellow tube. I took about a half a tube of clear silicone, put it in there, and I smashed the silicone down with the transducer. It's been in there for 6 months. Fish finder works great. I wasn't excited about drilling any holes in my boat. I wasn't excited about using a scupper hole. So these are kind of specific things, some of them to the Manta, but I just try to share what I can. You know, the transducer, you can put it in the bottom of any kayak. You can put it anywhere you want in the kayak. So I know mine's right here, right front corner. So the other thing about the Manta, when it first came out, I had a lot of people, let me grab a rod. I had a lot of people, including myself, that these were preset, where if you put these rods in, they were sticking out the boat. That's not good river fishing. It's really not good for a whole lot of anything other than being able to grab them. So I took these 5 screws out, popped that off. There's little rings underneath here that have tabs in them. It goes out and in and out and in. I cut those off, put them back in, tighten the screws down. Now all my rods are right in the back of the boat, facing straight back. So if you're frustrated with your rod holders, I don't think they've changed anything in manufacturing, but take those screws out. This comes off. These rod holders have a little thing around them. You cut those notches out so it can fit in. You can have all your rods going right out of the back of the boat. So that makes it nice and handy. Rod floats. I love rod floats. I, fortunately, have not lost a rod out of my boat yet. I've tested the rod floats. They do work. You can get 3 of them at Walmart or online for less than $9. So they don't interfere with your fishing. They don't interfere with the line. They're lightweight. So there's a little something about rod floats. What else can I tell you? I have a video on the wheels. So if you want to look at that, we will talk about, well, we can talk about it right now. Anchor Wizard. Anchor Wizard is amazing. What I do for an anchor is I have chain. I just took log chain, I cut it. They're 1-foot pieces. I have 3 of them with me. I always use 2. It seems to work good. Some days I can get away with 1. I have never had the chain get snagged in anything. The other thing I like about the chain is if it's not even windy out, I'll put 1 piece on all the time. But instead of carrying around a 7-pound anchor or a 5-pound anchor, those pieces of chain, pop them on, pop them off. And I guess if I would happen to lose them and lose this hook, I'm out very little money. So later in the video, I will get into the eyelets that you can put on. So your line for your Anchor Wizard gets right back to it, doesn't get caught in anything. We'll talk about seat risers. I think that's about it as far as till we start reloading it. So stay tuned. We'll be back to you in a second. Okay, I think we will start at the front of the Manta. This is a lithium-ion battery. Comes with a charger. This is, it will actually run my fish finder for 40 hours. So what I end up doing, like I told you a minute ago, is I put my transducer down in the bottom of the boat. So all I gotta do is make this connection. I put my battery in here. I have a couple of little things that go in there, a stringer and stuff. Close that up. Things are dry. If I need to charge my battery, pop this open, bring this out, plug it into my charger. Next morning, I'm ready to rock and roll. So that battery is amazing. It turned out really good. I do have a full video on mounting the fish finder, how the battery went in, the wiring, the harness, all that stuff. Okay, so first thing, here's the original seat bracket. It measures just about 1.5 inches. So the first thing I did is went on Amazon and got these. They measure from top to bottom about 3 inches. It's a 2-inch riser, so there's 2 inches. You get those on Amazon if you want to try just a little bit. And then I had a guy that has a 3D printer. He printed these blocks for me. So now to center of seat, I'm 5 inches. So I've raised my seat technically about 4 inches. So, and it is solid, very, very solid. I got two 5.5-inch deck screws that are going through here. I silicone this part to the block. I silicone the block to the boat. So they are not going anywhere. They're solid. I've seen quite a few out there now. I think if you get on any of the like Kayak Facebook freaks, if you would throw out there that you're looking for a 3D program, I can get some of these made for you. It's $40 and I have to ship them. I don't make them. The guy, he wants $40 to make them. So, but there's a lot of them out there now. It's been 6 months. Guys are figuring out and how to do it. So let's get that seat mounted. Those click in just like factory. Then the back, here's the, they're just like the originals. They fit nice and tight in that groove. If you heard the other one bounce across the floor. One thing I am considering is drilling a hole through here and then putting, it's a pin and it's got a ball bearing on the end of it. So I've been considering, and I'd probably put a little bit of slop in it, but if for some reason my seat would ever come out of the boat, I should probably throw them in the sink and see if they'd float. And for taking my seat out when I clean, it'd probably be better to have a couple pins in those. So Kayak cushions, these things are incredible. If you've been thinking about cushions, I know people that are buying cushions for wheelchairs and all kinds of stuff. I fell in 2008, broke two vertebrae in my back, broke my tailbone. So sitting for a long time can be a pain for me. This Lifetime seat is pretty comfortable right out of the box. It's adjustable, which is nice. But these Kayak cushions, they're game changers. This one is a largemouth pattern. This one is the smallmouth pattern. Definitely go with the dense foam. They have two types of foam. Go with the dense foam. They got zippers on them. You can unzip the covers, throw them in the washing machine. If they get to where, you know, from sweat or anything else, they're getting the smell and stink. They have got wet on me a couple times. I got caught in the rain. I would hang them on a clothesline or set them on a lawn chair, and the wind's blowing and it's sunny out. They're dry, half hour, 15 minutes. My one video, I think it is Kayak versus John Boat. We got caught in the rain and it held water for the first hour or so. I soaked up most of it, but after an hour and a half, it's not like water was running out of it. So anyways, there's your Kayak cushions. Another thing, while we're here, my catch board, I cut it off at 24 inches. I also took backer rod and stuck it in here, and I took silicone over it. And I just had some black, like Flex Seal product, so I put that black rubber over it. The reason I cut it off is because it used to stick way out of my seat. If I catch a bass over 24 inches, I have measuring there, and I have measuring on my paddle. So and I might catch a muskie or something, but you know, I can figure the math out. For a day-to-day, I liked having it where it's at. If not, it was sticking out here. I tried mounting it in different locations. It just didn't work for me. So next thing, I always have a water bottle with me. Water and ice. Take it everywhere I go. This was sliding around, so I took some toolbox liner out of Craftsman Toolbox. You can buy it about anywhere. But took silicone, put silicone with a brush, stuck it on there, so now my water bottle stays in one spot. So that's nice. Catch King net. I can't say enough about this net. I love it. It collapses down real easy. I keep it under my seat, flip it up, scoop a fish. It does have a magnet right here. If for some reason you would want it to break away, it's a pretty strong magnet. So supposedly it floats. I have not tested that yet. Suppose I could, but I like keeping it under my seat, out of the way, and I tether it right here next to my Catch King pliers. You'll see those shortly. What else? Yak Attack boxes. This is kind of my daily crash kit, depending on what I'm fishing for and what I'm going after. Then there's some just regular everyday staples in there, but it's nice to have right at your fingertips. So Yak Attack box. One thing I do, I constantly find myself putting the rod between my legs and then over the top of the Yak Attack box. So I had it sitting here, had it bouncing here. One day I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, you know what? If I cut a slot right there, so it's beautiful, fits right in there. I'm gonna take a file to it, take the edges off. They're not bad, but okay. Yak Attack boxes. I use this when I'm filming. Obviously in the morning I'll start out with 0, shut my camera off, go to the next one, and 1, 2, obviously. It just makes it a lot easier when you're editing videos to know what you're starting with. So Catch King digital scale. It had kind of a weird clamp on it, so my Rapala scale went bad. I just adapted it to that. It still zeroes out when I zero it out. Strike King Rage Tails. I use those on everything. The Rage Tail, I fish with it just like you do Texas rig. There's another measuring tape. I get these from Kevin Van Dam. This is a crawfish stick. This is a shad stick. Kevin Van Dam sends those right to my house. The way I look at it, your hands have something on them. Could be something on the boat, could be something in your bait box. I just think it's smart whenever you're throwing a bait to put some of that stink on there. The fish could be following it and thinking about it, or a fish could grab it in its mouth. And if maybe you had gasoline or Doritos, heck, I don't know. But it's just personal preference. So I'm always hitting my baits with some kind of a rub on. You know, like Kevin Van Dam, he sends them to my house, but Amazon delivers them. So this one's got gloves in it. There's my summer gloves. I just got these winter gloves. I only had a chance to wear them one day. What's nice about them, they're soft, but they are 100% waterproof. They have some texture on them. So I wore them one day. I did stick this hand completely in the water, almost to my wrist. Pulled it out. The water shielded off like a duck. So these are bobber stops for pinning weights to like a Texas rig or to, they should be up here. You could also, like I'll use a 4/0 hook. I'll use a Rage Tail and then put the 1/4 ounce weight on it, but I'll pin the weight to the tip of the worm. I learned that from the guy I watch on YouTube all the time that fishes out of Florida. His name's Seth. Then down here is a selfie stick for when I'm making my videos. And one of the most important things, if you're going to be on the water, especially fishing, spend some money. Buy some good polarized glasses. These are made by Costa. I keep tether on the back of those. But I bought these glasses 23 years ago. They've been replaced twice, and I've never paid a dime. The nose piece came off on me, And then I think it's just from the oil on my skin, these earpieces started flaking and falling apart. So I called them, sent them pictures, mailed them into them. They had me look at the catalog and said, do you want the same thing or you want to replace them with something else? Well, these glasses are my favorite, so they sent me another pair. That's happened twice. So I think I paid $119 for them and 23 years. So Costa's got good products. I have replaced a pair of my wife's and a pair of my brother's. So see what else. Oh, this strap here. This strap, it's extendable. You can move your kayak around with it, but its number one purpose, which I think is genius, I got this strap set so I can reach up when I'm sitting in the kayak, put both feet there, and pull myself right up out of the kayak, out of the seat. Now raising my seat 5 inches has definitely made it a lot more easier to get up. I'm 55 years old. I consider myself healthy. I'm very active, play pickleball and all that, but still, it's nice having the seat up, and it's nice having the strap when you need it. So, here's a Garmin. I talked about that a little bit. My Garmin, you can see a video on YouTube on my channel. It just clicks in here. I took it out just for cleaning purposes. So it clicks in. I do have a tether on it. Tether hook's right there. I think I have a short on. What happened was I had a 3-pound bass on. He came, he hit the boat, came across here, hit the Garmin, knocked it off, and it sat right here between my paddle and the boat. So learned my lesson. I have it hooked here, and I have a video on how it attaches right there. On these Garmin fish finders, there's a couple empty screw holes in the back, and I believe it's 4 millimeter. But I know it's on the YouTube video. So dive into the next part of the video, which is the back of the kayak. See, I got everything set up here. It's kind of going to be an interesting change on my video. I realized editing it, this part I did on the front of the kayak, somehow I either didn't have the camera on or I deleted it. So you might see a weird transition, but I think I came back out here in the barn today and got you caught up on everything. So enjoy the rest of the video. Here's 2 more of the Yak Attack boxes. They come with the bracket. 4 screws into the boat. You can see all the silicone oozing out right there. Like I said, you always want to silicone anything you attach to a kayak. Keep water out of your hole. Whoop. So those are locked in. This one is kind of a first aid and survival stuff. This is a little survival kit. It's got all kinds of stuff in. I got a knife in there. You know, that's kind of, I guess, a Band-Aid product. There's a tether for my paddle. I haven't done any river fishing yet, but I'm prepared if I need it. And then here's a hat. There is a neck gaiter. Here's a headlamp. Here's my fishing license. Pair of reading glasses. You'll see when you get 40, you'll need them. So I do put my phone number on the stuff that potentially could float away. You guys know it adds up quick, some of this stuff, so it doesn't hurt to put your phone number on there. Here's my, I know in tournaments you have to have, I think, an orange flag. I went with the United States of America fishing flag. So got the pole and the kit on Amazon, and this is from flyaflag.com. It's got Velcro on here that I cut off. I cut the Velcro off and ended up kind of modifying it with some zip ties, but Old Glory means a lot to me. I thought that was pretty cool. So as you can see, here's the cleaner that we used. I always take a water bottle with me. Yak Attack likes to send me stickers. After 2 or 3 trips, my water bottle kept sliding around, so I took some black toolbox liner and some clear silicone. I kind of laid it out there with a brush. Keeps my water bottle right there. It's out of the way. see what else we got. I'll show you this here towards the end. There's the chains, fishing shoes. These are Morels. I like them, especially in the summer. They stay on your feet good. They're lightweight. They got good insoles in them for a water shoe. And with the holes in them, they keep your feet pretty cool during the summer. So I have two different life jackets here. This is the one I primarily wear in the spring and the fall. Got my cell phone tether. Cell phone tether is nice. I tried the bag that's clear. You put it in and vacuum and all that, but not productive for me. Emergency whistle, definitely. And then I have a knife. In case something crazy would happen underwater, I know I got that knife right there. Here's my summer life jacket. When it's steaming hot out, sweating like crazy, I got the inflatable. Got them both off Amazon. I want to say this one was around $43. This obviously was a little more expensive, maybe in the $60 range. But please, please, please wear a life jacket. I don't care how long you've been swimming, I don't know how long you've been on the water. About a month ago there was a tournament. I want to say it was down in Florida, and there's a young man that I've watched quite a few of his videos. He didn't come back one day from that tournament. They found his kayak, they found his life jacket floating, and then a day later they found him. So it's just, you know, swallow your pride, wear a life jacket. Casking pliers. These things are amazing. Nice soft grip on them. That'll cut braid like cutting butter. I tie them off here to the same eyelet. It just worked out perfect for me that they fit right here on my foot. Oh, yeah, mess that later. They fit right there perfect. But you can see I'm still keeping everything clean here. I've been happy with this paddle. I got it when I first started fishing. It's made by Pelican. It's called the Angler. Clicks together. You can see a little bit of the finish is wearing off, but that means I'm using it. It has its own ruler on it, which is nice. This is if you get a bait hung up. You can send your paddle down there as far as you can to your bait. Get your line hooked in there and try to pull and see if you can get that bait back. Another thing on this paddle, these drip cups right here, they need to be the width of your hand away from your paddle. That one's off a little bit, of course. Like I said, the width of your hand away from the paddle. That's where these drip cups go. So when you're paddling, the drip cups will stop it. This paddle also has notches in it right here for the water to drip off. This is a Pelican paddle. It's a metal handle, but I think I'm into it for $69. But it's been a great paddle. And I do paddle. I paddle everywhere I go. I like the workout. I like the quiet. I like trying to keep it natural and real. So, but yeah, my paddle, luckily, my paddle literally was sitting like this because I had a fish on, and he hit it, and it laid right there next to the paddle. So enough about that, right? What else can we talk to you guys about? There's another paddle lanyard. There's a stringer. I do catch some fish in my own pond and keep them. They're good to eat. Now let's get the big black box out. Unfortunately, this baby right here weighs 60 pounds. So it's a little bit of a monster. Let me show you how I have it set up. Obviously it is your Yak Attack box. I have a rod holder here facing backwards, another one here. I ended up ordering a couple more buckles or snaps because I have too much stuff in it. It was bulging at the sides. But I have the Yak Attack soft pack, which is full of all kinds of anything soft. So I got my buzz baits, and these are the Plano boxes. But I got my buzz baits in here, got crankbaits in here right now, jigs and trailers, trick worms, swim baits, hooks, heads, and leads, more trailers, top water. Oh, I just started getting into these swim baits. That's my spring. I'm seeing guys having good luck on these swim baits, so got to get that labeled, but I'm looking forward to trying some of those in the spring. I've been finding some on sale at Walmart. This is something back here that I never knew existed, but I found it and I love it. Spinner baits, buzz baits, and chatter baits. They fit in here, and all you do is take that, and it's got a little notch in it, lock it in there. I like having extra skirts with me. I think these skirts right here were $4 or $5. Because you might wear out a chatterbait skirt, or you might wear out a spinnerbait skirt. You can slide one of those on. I think I did the math. It's less than 20 cents a piece. So it's nice to have those in the kayak. And yeah, I'm probably dragging around more stuff than I need today, but it works for me. This is obviously from Yak Attack. The soft pack. It does open up backwards. I don't know who designed it. They must be left-handed. But I got yammies in there. I got grubs in there. Rage tail. There's some grubs. Sweet beaver. I got tubes in here. Large tubes, small tubes, Cincos. So I bet, I'd hate to put this thing on a scale, but I bet you it weighs probably 20 pounds. So it usually is out of the boat before I get her in the water, and then when I get in the water, I came up with, I think, is a pretty slick little way to mount it. If you can pick it up. I do have the, they offer a bag now through Yak Attack. I got a couple towels in there, and sometimes I'll put, depending on what my snacks are, I'll put those in there. But I got these tie downs, add a couple more cleats to the boat. So once I got her in there, and I will haul it with this in here too. I haul it in the back of my truck. It's nice just to put in the back of the truck. I got probably from the seat to the back is sticking out of off my tailgate. So far I haven't trailered it. I do have a jet ski trailer, so next summer I might be doing that a little bit, depending on what we're driving to the lake. But yeah, those tie downs fit right in there. These little straps came off of Amazon. Tighten those down and she'll move a little bit. Plus I just pretty much grease the whole thing. But again, can't say enough about life jackets. What I do with this cargo net, I have had a couple times local here in town. I'd fish a pond, I'd get home and my hat would be missing. And then one time my flag was missing. So I think going down the interstate, I had like a wind swirling inside my truck. So I came up with this off Amazon. I hook one here. I hook one here. I take it back behind my seat. Hook it right in there. Got another one that gets hooked. Oh, there it is. That gets hooked there. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you, but the whole idea is when this is all spread out, anything that's in my cockpit right here, it's not going to blow out onto the highway or get lost. So it worked for me. It's 19 bucks for the cargo net, and then the carabiners, they came with something else I had purchased. So yeah, that's my setup. It is the Manta from Lifetime. It is 38 inches wide. It is 12 feet long. I keep my scupper plugs in all the time. I've never had a reason to take them out. I don't take on much water at all. Usually if there's water in the boat, it's because of a fish or because of my net. I have the tie-off cleats that I use when I tie it off to the pier. So I think what I'll do is I have a box that I have of all the extra add-ons and stuff like that. So I will open that box out, open it up on the table, and show you some of the stuff that I found that I've used to adapt the kayak to the way I want it. So Get back to you here in a minute. I did want to load the kayak up with some rods. I do usually typically run with 6 rods. People are like, why do you need 6 rods? Why don't you just cut it off? Why don't you, tie new baits on? Well, there's certain things about certain things. I like using these. I have to put my rods in my back seat. Sometimes the dogs are with me. I don't like them getting caught in the seat either. But depending on what bait you're fishing with, depends on what line you have. Braid, I keep braid on for my frogs. I use a 25-pound test for my chatterbaits. I use a lighter test for some of my spinnerbaits. So, hey, to each his own. I don't spend a lot of money on my rod and reel combos. I really like the Lures for the money. You can't beat them. I actually like the pistol grips. I like the reel handles. They have some that are round. Not a fan of those, but you can walk into Dunham's or Dick's and you get this combo right here for $139. All my rods are 7'3" rods, medium heavy. It's just what I like to fish with. To each his own. No different than going to a restaurant. So let me show you this Anchor Wizard for any of you guys that aren't familiar with it. Like I said, I just take the log chain, hook it to it. Nice thing about that log chain too, you get it set right and it's windy, it'll drag and let you just coast. But all you do with this Anchor Wizard is you turn this thing half a turn and it drops. So now it's down in the water. This tube falls over like that and drops it. So when I'm fishing, then you start reeling the other way. Nice and easy, one hand reel. When I'm fishing, I can feel it hit right there. So I'll leave it sit like that when I'm fishing. Chains are in the water, not a big deal to me. Some guy texts me about the chains clanking and scaring fish away. I don't know. When I do get ready to leave, or if I get in shallow water, you just bring that up. The tube comes back up on here. And actually, what I've been doing is I've been hooking these chains in the middle. That shortens them up. That way they're not hanging when I'm going down the road. So I do have those on wrong right now. So yeah, that is the Lifetime Manta. I'll open up that box, show you some of the stuff that I use to get it rigged the way I do. But you always want to have water with you. Obviously, want to have some snacks. I ended up moving this. I had a little too close to myself. You can see a couple holes. I just took some gray silicone, filled them. So the handle on the front of the Manta is great. You can grab that, pull it up on shore. What else can I tell you guys? I think I talked to you about, those are luggage stands, suitcase stands off Amazon. $29 for 2 of them. They do now have kayak stands. Hopefully Santa brings me a couple of those for Christmas. I think they'll be a little more rigid and solid. These guys, I'm rough on them, but they're nice. I can fold them up, throw them in the back of the truck, and take them to the lake with me. That way, kayak's not killing grass, or if I want to clean it, cover it. All right, let me grab that box of supplies that I have and see what I got in there for you. Okay, so this is my crash kit, if you want to call it that. I save everything. Any nuts, bolts, anything I have left over, it goes in the crash kit. So I was talking to you guys about these. Any screw that you have in your boat, or kayak, I'm sorry, you can put one of these in there and that's a place for you to hook a tether. So found these on Amazon. They come with, obviously you can't use these screws. I've been using the self tapper with silicone. These are snagless slotted pad-eye kit. So that's what I use to run the rope for my Anchor Wizard, to keep that in line when it's going to the back of the kayak. Here's a couple more tie downs. They just slide right in the rail. You can put them anywhere you want. These pretty much are all extras. That's for my seat. I have 2 extra rails, look to be 8 inchers. One thing I will tell you, if you own a Manta, I have had at least 3 of these crack. So I have at least 1 spare with me all the time. All you have to do, that's a nice thing about Manta, and our Lifetime. Lifetime products, 5-year warranty on this whole kayak from end to end. Fortunately, the only thing I have replaced is right here. And if you, quality wise, this one compared to this just seems like it's a little more pliable. I've broke these, and I think it might be from me stepping here and it flexing. So I've been trying to do a better job of coming off the sides. But anyways, rails are good to have. You can get like 2 of these at 8 inches. You can get 2 4-inchers. That's why I ended up putting back here, or the little 4-inchers. But on Amazon, they're very cost effective. That's extra parts. I do keep a Phillips screwdriver with me. These are more, if you want to get bobber stops, you can get them from Amazon. I think I got 1,000 of them for $5. Here's what I use to hold my paddle. I bought the big thing that comes off the side, and it lasted about a week, and I was frustrated. It was in my way every time I did something. So there's an extra paddle holder. You get 2 of them for $7. This is what I use to put around my baits when I'm putting my rods in the back of the truck, or when I'm done at the end of the day. Hey, check these out. Walmart. I was in there the other day. Swim baits, $4.99 a piece. I looked them up online. They sell for over $30. So if you're bored and it's winter where you're at, go check out Walmart. Clearance. I keep silicone, clear silicone right here. This is a gray that matches pretty close my kayak. So if I have to fill a hole or do something somebody's going to see, I just use the gray. There's an extra phone tether. My nephew goes with me sometimes. He just got a kayak, so I'll be seeing more of him next summer. But he uses my cell phone, and I use the DJI Action 4 camera that's on my chest right now. But we do little fishing tournaments and competitions, so he takes his tether with my cell phone and records his fish. And here's the charger I was talking about for my battery. Screws in right there, obviously plugs in. It tells you how much, when you plug it in, it'll tell you where your battery's at. Obviously tell you when it's full. Full charge, guaranteed 8 hours. Dead to full. Here's an extra rod float, 2 Velcro straps. Put it around, strap it up. Tethers. You can get tethers on Amazon cheap. I ordered a bunch when we were putting my nephew's kayak together. He'll probably need some more when we get dialed in this spring with him. There's some extra carabiners from stuff I've ordered. Here's some extra scupper plugs. Those actually I think are for Grant's boat, a little bigger in diameter. Let's see, I don't know what those straps when they got here. These are the ones I use for my Yak Attack box. I end up cutting them shorter and burning the ends. And this is one thing that's really important. And I've had some feedback from people talking about ratchet straps. Ratchet straps, in my opinion, my personal opinion, is the quickest way to damage a kayak, because you're ratcheting that thing and talking to somebody or not paying attention, and all of a sudden you hear something pop, crack, or you go to unload it and you've broke your kayak. You broke where the strap goes through. These are, I think I'd call it a cinch strap. I found them on eBay. Somebody was selling them for 22 bucks. So I bought them and I love them. They hold good, but they're only as tight as you want to pull them. So these are 15 footers. I got 2 15 footers. I run them one through here to the back of my truck, the other one through here to the back of my truck. So that's it, guys. Probably a little long-winded, probably a little more than you wanted to know. Like I said, you don't have to have a lifetime Manta to hopefully get something out of my discussion here. But man, hope you're catching fish. If you're on the water, you're lucky. I'm watching it snow. Here's one more thing I did do. Here is some Daiwa oil reel, and here is some Lew's reel grease. I took all my reels and all my rods, cleaned them up, greased them, and oiled them before I put them away. So I got to figure something out. I don't like them sitting in the barn being exposed, so I might just take a rag and wrap it around them to keep the dust and dirt out of them. But that's just me. So hey, if you like the video, hit like for me. If you want to subscribe to my channel, like I said, a lot of fishing, deer hunting, kind of techie stuff. I was out in Montana mule deer hunting. I'm going to be on a houseboat. This summer down in Kentucky, catching some smallies. Tonight, hopefully we'll go out in this snowstorm and got 2 10-pointers roaming around, so I'd like to knock those down. Right now, that video series, episode 1 came out today. It's called The Grind, because it's been a little bit of a grind trying to get one of these big bucks to come out in daylight for me. So, okay, so to wrap it up on the Lifetime Manta, I love the kayak. I love the size of it. I love the way it's laid out. It is super stable. Got plenty of room to carry all my gear. It's held up great for me. Like I said, I've been fishing it for 6 months. It fits in the back of my truck, which is nice. Plenty of room. Quality wise, like I said, the only thing I've really had issues with is a few of these cracking, but Lifetime, you know, in a second, mailed them out to me, no questions asked. So I would definitely stand behind this kayak. I don't know that I'll ever replace it unless they redesign it and there's something else, something different that I need. I've had great luck with the wheels underneath it. That makes it convenient. You don't have to worry about a cart. Plenty of rod storage, plenty of equipment storage. There's a lot of rails on it. I have never taken the scupper plugs out. I've always run them in there so I stay dry in the kayak. I see a lot of guys, YouTube videos, you know, they're fishing and they're in an inch and a half of water. They got waders on or they got rubber shoes on. But, you know, to each his own. When I'm out kayak fishing, I'm trying to chill out, take it easy, and relax. So I do want to try to get into a couple tournaments this summer. Trying to figure out something around Fort Wayne, Indiana that has some tournaments. But like I said, I've had it for 6 months. I really haven't done anything major to it. But you guys have any questions, any comments, any concerns, you know, let me know. But for the money, what I see some of these guys spending on kayaks just is crazy. But hey, it's their money. They can do what they want. You know, they got guys with the rails across it and the fish finders and all that stuff. I just, you know, try to keep it simple and just really enjoy kayak fishing. Used to fish a lot in high school and kind of got away from it. And then this year, I don't know what spurred me to do it, but I got that first kayak and had some fun fishing with that, but it was not stable. So I started looking around, doing my homework, came across the Manta, ended up ordering it, and I haven't looked back since. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Hopefully maybe you learned something, or maybe I gave you an idea or anything like that. But looking forward to spring. I'm already counting the days and I got 3 months to go, so I'll be ready to get her back in the water. If you guys get a chance, check out a couple of my videos. I have fun when I'm fishing. Try to catch many fish as I can, quality fish, but at the end of the day, it's about being out there on the water. So I appreciate you. Have a good one. Fish on.
May I have your attention, please?